Hey guys, Mr. Balker here again, going over Career Explorations, Chapter 5 this time. So, what this chapter is about is kind of how do you get prepared for your career after school? And when is that? Is that after 4 years of college, 8 years of college, no college? Really, that depends a lot on you and what careers you've chosen. One of the things that I think is cool about this curriculum is it gives a real honest look at the needs for various levels of education. I know it kind of sounds like heresy, being here in school and telling some people that school may not be the thing that a person needs to do. Make no mistake, I have a tremendous amount of faith and value in education. I think that it's super important. But that doesn't mean that everybody needs to go to OU or OSU or another four-year institution. For some people, that's just flat wrong. I went to the University of California at Santa Barbara. And at my school, for one, I hadn't planned on going. Okay, I was not going to go to college. I was going to join the Marines because I didn't really have any money, right? And I didn't think that there was a way for me to get this thing done. So my best friend, Dave Hanley, he said, hey man, I'm going to go to UCSB. You should apply. And I said, all right, whatever. I'll do it. He's my best friend in the whole world. So I applied to exactly one school, and I got in. And so then I was faced with the reality of, now what am I going to do? Great, I got in, but I'm going to feel like an idiot whenever I go and tell these people I don't have any money, right? And so that's where student loans really come into play, and that's where you might be surprised. Some grants and scholarships, some help that you don't know is out there can come in. In my situation, I was extremely lucky. I have always had, I've liked to work, let's call it that. And so I made enough money doing my jobs that I could pay for a place to live, which, make no mistake, at UC Santa Barbara was expensive. But the college wasn't that bad. The college that I had chosen happened to only be about $5,000 or $6,000 a year. Now, I know this is back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, so it's a little bit more now, but some of these schools really aren't that bad. Anyway, moving on. I was able to get a little bit of scholarship help, and I was also surprised that a member of my family said, we'll help pay for your tuition. And that just changed everything, right? Because that now gave me the opportunity to just go and pursue this four-year degree. What happened when I got to school, though, was I found a lot of people who thought, oh, this is going to be easy, this is just like high school, my parents are paying for it, I can do whatever I want. And I can't tell you the number of people that just parted their way right out of college in three or 4 months. Some of those people weren't ready. And that's where I'm going with this. Some people, it's just not the right choice. For some people, being away and completely responsible for yourself like that, it's too much. And so it may not be the right choice for everybody. And that's what this chapter is talking about is what other things can you do? So before we get to college, it's asking you to make some really big, tough choices. In the blue box, which again, I think these are super important, they talk about what things that you're going to need. Well, to go to a four-year college, they're saying that you're probably going to need 4 years of English and language arts, 3 years of math, 3 years of science, 2 years of foreign language, and 3 years of social studies. That's more classes than you would need to get your normal diploma, right? But you're competing against other people who are working hard. So if you want to get into one of those schools, they're saying, look, these are the things you're going to need. And that's above and beyond test scores, good grades, sometimes community involvement, sometimes organizations like NHS that we've talked about already. And so if those are things that I'm not going to want to do that. I hate taking those classes. I don't want to learn those things. That's where this thing gets really honest and it starts talking about other types of education. Vocational schools, they're a good option for a lot of people. And I think I've already made this comment, but if you think that vocational education and vocations in general are not economically rewarding, meaning you can make a bunch of money, you're just wrong. Okay, I know a guy, I met him in my previous business, but he decided to get out of that line of work and he decided to become an HVAC, so heating, ventilation, air conditioning technician, as well as an electrician, right? Because there's a lot of electricity that goes into these units. And so this guy is going through it, getting his certifications, and in 3 years, when he's got his journeyman's license and he's an established guy, he can charge people about $140 an hour to go out and work on stuff. Now, if he opens his own business, he gets to keep most of that money. If he doesn't, if he works for somebody else, obviously they take some, he takes some, but then he doesn't have to worry about running the business. My point is, that's a good pay, man. I mean, if you think about making 50 to 90 bucks an hour, going in and doing work that one, you enjoy doing because you're working with your hands, and for some people, look, I love it. I have a couple of hobbies, and maybe we'll get into this later, but the things where I build things, I fix things, I love it. It's very rewarding to me because you start and then you're done, and look, here's this thing that is correct, and I get great gratification from that, and maybe some of you do as well. My point is, if you can do that and make good money, right? Because for what it's worth, 50 to 90 bucks an hour, that's great money. That buys you a nice, comfortable house with a swimming pool if you so desire, right? If you want a pool, I do. Those are the things to think about, though. So, do you need to go to a four-year college? Not necessarily. A lot of people make great money not doing that, and that's what this chapter is talking about. One thing that it does stress, though, and I don't disagree with this one bit. This line right here: staying in school is key to your lifelong success. They put a comma, I put a period. Staying in school, crazy important. Getting through high school is very, very important. And here's why. It's not the piece of paper. When you go to talk to somebody else and you're considering employment with them, or you're considering a further education through them, and you tell them, yeah, I didn't finish high school, many people will think you're a quitter. Many people will think that you don't have the stick-with-itness that is required in our society. Finishing high school, super important. It shows people, look, I can make it through a tough time, because high school's gonna be tough. I mean, the classes are harder, the social structure is different. It's not easy, but it's rewarding, and it's a good thing. So this is a very important sentence, and I agree with it. That is the end of chapter 5, and also the unit. After this, you've got a quiz, okay? A couple people have gotten a little bit ahead, and they've taken the quiz, and without naming any names, let's say they didn't do well. You can take it again. Make sure you read the chapters. Have this stuff, ready to go, because they're expecting you to actually retain the information you've got. It's not a contest to see who can get done the fastest. It's what can we learn, right? There is also a little game that you can play to kind of get the information back to the front of your mind. Maybe play the game and then go take the quiz. I don't know. So that's it. That's chapter 5. I hope you guys are enjoying the class. It does get a lot more specific after here. This is the introduction unit where they're just trying to show you, hey, this is what the class is about. From here, they do kind of a deep dive on some of the really specific occupations soon. They're going to break it down into the clusters, and they're going to go over, this is a job. So I think you'll enjoy it. I've looked over some of the jobs, and I think it's really honest, and I think that's a good thing. One of the problems that I've seen in my own life is that people will tell you what you want to hear, not the truth. And this course really seems to be telling us pretty honest facts about jobs. So that's what I got for you there. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I will see you again soon. Bye.